Good morning, happy Friday, and welcome to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara DeFalco.
And I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. Let's check in with meteorologist Mike Favetta on our New Jersey weather forecast. Good morning, Mike.
Very good morning to you both. Happy Friday, and as we enter the weekend, happy St. Joseph's Day, a day early.
Yes.
We had St. Patrick's Day yesterday, so we're right in the middle of the holidays.
We are, and isn't it the first day of spring this weekend, too?
It is, but I was more excited about the things you're going to show us later.
Well, yeah, that's
me too, actually.
Who doesn't love the little St. Joseph's Day food? All right, you do weather, and then we'll all eat a little later.
But it is going to feel like spring. That was a nice transition, especially going into a very warm afternoon. Highs today, well above average. We're not going to break any records, but when we're in the 70s in late March, with sunshine, we'll take it. And that's where we'll sit today. 73 as today's high. Lots of clear sky returning after the morning fog dissipates. And that's really the key in today's forecast. We take you around the state from the north to the south. Most of this morning will remain dry, even though there was reduced visibility. We had visibility of less than a mile. There's still a quarter-mile visibility over toward Newark early this morning. But with the sunshine returning, 73 as your high, it'll feel very pleasant. High thin clouds develop later today. So while in Lacey Township, you'll be in the upper 60s and low 70s, Atlantic City a whole 10 degrees cooler. That's due to that cooler sea breeze that comes in. The water temperatures of the Atlantic still in the upper 40s. So any wind off of the water is going to make it feel very cold along the beach and boardwalk today. The next few days offer another round of clouds, and there will be some showers on and off through the day tomorrow. Might even have a late afternoon rumble of thunder into the early evening with a passing downpour, and then we warm up again only into the 50s with sunshine on Sunday and Monday. It's a slightly cooler trend going into next week, but it's weather we'll enjoy, and with the first day of spring arriving on Sunday, we say goodbye to winter after all of the kind of freezing and then thawing that we've had over the last few days. I know potholes are a huge problem across New Jersey due to those freeze and thaw cycles. So luckily, I think we'll stay above freezing for the next few days for a change. Still too early to plant the gardens, though. We'll get into that coming up as we talk about the pollen situation. There was a pollen storm on Wednesday. Pollen could be a big problem again today, predominantly for those that suffer from tree allergies. Those details, Lisa Marie and Cara, it's coming up in a few minutes.
Yeah, those allergies have been brutal. I don't know if you, I literally, every time I walk the dog, and you can see it on the trees. I mean, they are already ready to pop.
They are.
Oh boy. Thanks, Mike. Well, there was an attempted burglary that was caught on video in Burlington County. Take a look. You can see two men approach the house in Evesham Township and try to get in. Police say the men opened an unlocked car in the driveway and then used the garage door opener to get into the garage, but the door to the house was locked. The men fled when the homeowner confronted them. Police say they believe the men were looking to find the car keys so they could steal the car out of the driveway. A good lesson, always lock your car door, even if it is in your driveway. I know that whole crime of opportunity thing happens more often than anyone cares to admit.
Oh, yeah. And just, I think car burglaries are just on the rise like crazy.
Yeah, they're really trying to fight that. But I mean, they say the biggest deterrent is just lock the car door.
Exactly.
Jersey City says there's nothing they can do to offset the school board's proposed tax increase of about $2,400 per household per year. A spokeswoman for the city said the Board of Education's billion-dollar budget is, quote, unconscionable. It is, I can't imagine being a resident of Jersey City right now, because not only is it the extra $2,400 for the year for the school board, they had offset about $1,000 of taxes last year with some COVID money that they can't do this year. So in total, it's going to be $3,400 more in taxes a year per house.
That's crazy.
It's wild.
And I love Jersey City, but I guess I got out right in time.
You apparently got out in time, but yeah, no,
Wow.
it's the cost of living there is just astronomical
Yeah,
at this
it's
point.
like New York City levels.
Absolutely.
First Lady Tammy Murphy recently visited the Meast America warehouse, where the Ukrainian National Women's League of America and the New Jersey Hospital Association are working to gather and deliver supplies to the Ukrainian people. Towns across New Jersey are holding fundraisers for Ukraine. On Sunday, Manalapan Township and St. Catherine of Siena and St. Rose of Lima Church will be hosting a donation drive from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the parking lot of Town Hall.
There's so many people trying to do whatever they can at this point.
Which it's so important.
Yeah.
Those people need it.
It's heartbreaking.
Certain.
So listen, open enrollment for Medicare is happening now through the end of the month, and it is an important time for New Jersey's seniors who are considering their healthcare options. Kristen Groh is a representative for Coalition for Medicare Choices, which is a coalition of more than 2 million seniors advocating for their healthcare. She can help break down the differences in Medicare plans and talk about issues that are impacting New Jersey's seniors. Kristen, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me today.
No problem. Is it Kristen or Christine? I'm sorry.
It's Christine. That's
Christine, I apologize. So Christine, what is the difference between the original Medicare and Medicare Advantage?
Sure. When you turn the age of 65, or if you're a younger person with certain disabilities or end-stage renal disease, you qualify for Medicare. And that means you have a choice. You can choose original Medicare through the government, and that's the federal government. So that covers, there's Part A, which covers your hospitalizations and inpatient costs. There's Part B, which covers doctor's office visits and those sorts of visits. Then there's what's called Medicare Part C, which is also Medicare Advantage. And Medicare Advantage wraps around those benefits to provide even more services. Some of the most popular include things like dental, vision, care, prescription drug medications, fitness programs, telehealth services, and a whole lot more. So people really have a choice when it comes to their healthcare coverage. And there are a lot of different things that they can look at to choose a plan that works best for them.
I know decisions are being made right now in Washington, D.C. about healthcare. What does that mean for New Jersey seniors?
Every year, the administration of the federal government takes a look at the Medicare Advantage plans to decide how much is going to be invested into the program, just like they invest into original Medicare, and what kinds of benefits these plans can offer. The federal government oversees and administers, takes a very close look at these plans to ensure that they're delivering value. So they're making decisions right now about what these plans can look like in 2023. Our coalition is letting members of Congress and the administration know that Medicare is an important choice for them, and they want to make sure the program continues to be protected and can continue to provide very strong benefits that they've come to appreciate.
So, Christine, why is preventative care so important for New Jersey seniors?
Preventive care is very important to ensure that you stay as healthy as you can for as long as you can. This includes things like your annual visit to your doctor to get your blood work done and your physical, and make sure that everything is as healthy as possible. Identify chronic conditions early so that you can get on top of them and perhaps even reverse them. It's also important for things like vaccinations. I know people think vaccinations and they think COVID-19, but there are vaccinations for lots of other things too. Things like shingles, things like flu vaccines. All of these are very important ways for people to stay as healthy as they can, because everybody wants to enjoy the quality of life.
Yeah, for folks watching at home, what can they do to tell their lawmakers to support important healthcare programs like Medicare Advantage?
You can send an email or call your member of Congress's office and let them know that Medicare Advantage is an important choice and it should stay protected. The good news is Medicare Advantage is one of these rare bright spots of bipartisan agreement where members of Congress largely agree it's important for seniors. They just need to keep hearing from seniors that it continues to be important for them.
Christine, just finally, where can folks find you if they do you guys do like advocates for individuals or how do people get in touch with you?
We have about 2 million seniors who are part of our coalition today, and we have a whole lot more information about the program and the work that we do. You can find us at medicarechoices.org.
Great. Christine Groh, thank you so much for joining us on this Friday morning. We appreciate your time. And again, it's medicarechoices.org for more information. Thanks again. You have yourself a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Next, we're talking about college funding with the founder of Fafsa, plus author Andrew Cotto talks about his 7th book out now, Pasta Mike.
And you can connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll keep you up to date on who's going to be on the show and all our great little video clips. Be sure to check us out. Click follow.
Did you know that heart disease is the #1 killer of women? I didn't, until it happened to me.
All women need to know that cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of women. Know your family history and talk to your doctor about heart disease.
Awareness may make the difference between life and death.
The American Lung Association invites you to join us outside in 2021 for our Fight for Air Climb events. Now more than ever, we need you in the fight for clean air and healthy lungs. Let's go outside and climb, because every step counts. Visit us at lung.org.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. Let's bring in meteorologist Mike Favetta with a check of your Jersey forecast. And man, Mike, it is shaping up to just be a gorgeous Friday today. I would not be surprised if people are playing hooky today.
It didn't start out that way, though. I could barely see on my way home, on my way into the studio.
It was foggy, but it was beautiful. Just that sunlight filtering through. Was it foggy by you, Mike?
It is foggy here as well. It's foggy across most of New Jersey right now. Visibility less than half a mile across many places. But as the sunshine returns, that fog will lift, and we've got a really pleasant afternoon ahead. Lots of clear sky forecast for later today. So let's start you off with some weather headlines. Here across New Jersey, our weather will begin nice and dry. And even though the early morning fog will eventually mix out, we're talking about a lot of sunshine through this afternoon, and then another round of showers tomorrow. I don't think tomorrow will be as gray and gloomy as yesterday was. There will still be a few breaks in the early afternoon, but plan on more so a wet start to the weekend. Now, Sunday, when spring arrives, we've got a beautiful day ahead. Clear sky to start, a little cool with some clouds by the afternoon, and then we transition to a more seasonable feel by early next week. As we were mentioning, the pollen was a big issue yesterday. We had the tree pollen at the moderate to high level. That was on Wednesday, where I saw so many people sneezing. You felt it yourself, just the bugging out of your eyes. There was also a low level of the weeds concentration. And typically, when we have a lot of sunshine early on in March, with all those warm, kind of mild afternoons, that's what allows for the trees to really get going and start producing a lot of the pollen. And that was reported. So I think as we go forward in time, these rainy days that we get help to rinse the pollen from the atmosphere. And that's a good thing, helping it to make it feel at least a little more tolerable. Let's go town by town across New Jersey with your weekend's weather. Starting off with the clouds for the early morning on Saturday. Temperatures make it back up into the 60s, but again, periods of rain on and off throughout the day. More sunshine by Sunday, and with that clear sky to start off each morning, we'll quickly transition back to clouds, although we'll see a cooling trend only into the 50s by the end of the weekend. So the first day of spring feeling spring-like, and the 7-day forecast, which we'll show you coming up, is actually quite pleasant going into early next week. Lots of sunshine and temperatures that hold right around average. So I think we can finally put away the winter coats, except for maybe Monday and Tuesday morning, because it gets a bit chilly in the northern part of the state. I'll detail that with the 7-day forecast and a special birthday shout out. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
Boy, I love the sound of that. I am so ready to put away all my winter stuff.
I have to get my skis out of my car.
Oh, boy.
I'm a little bummed I didn't get to use them as much as I would have liked to this season, but it was a little running around. But I am very much looking forward to all this spring weather. Thank you, Mike, and of course we'll get that 7-day forecast from you in just a little bit.
You bet.
High schoolers across the state are eagerly awaiting college decisions, and many have already heard back from some schools. What holds so many students back from pursuing college education is a lack of funding. Here to share some tips on financial aid is founder of Fafsa Assist, Stuart Siegel. Welcome, Stuart.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So in New Jersey, April 15, 2022 is an important deadline for renewal applicants to submit to FAFSA. Tell us what FAFSA is and why it's so important for parents and students to submit.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
can you hear
great.
us?
I can hear you fine. Any rate, the FAFSA is a very important form. It's a federal form, stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. And to qualify for a number of aid programs like Pell Grants and TAG, for example, Tuition Account Grant, the grant program in New Jersey, and grant programs the colleges have, you have to fill out the form. So if you don't, you're going to lose out on a lot of money, potentially.
So, Stuart, any specific advice for New Jersey students trying to renew their applications?
Well, typically, refiling is an easier process than doing it the first time.
Okay.
So as long as you hit the deadline and you make sure that, because they're asking for new information every year, I mean, you can fill out the renewal form and it has your name and address and that sort of thing. But your income has to go in there. And if you don't use the IRS, that stands for the Internal Revenue Service, our friends there in Washington who collect our taxes, there's something called a data retrieval tool. We call it the IRS DRT. It's good to use that and have your taxes actually transferred from the IRS to the Fafsa so that you can avoid potentially having to fill out numerous forms in a process called verification, which is like an audit, and you want to do that.
Oof, hate that word. What is it about the FAFSA application process that can be so intimidating to those that haven't done it before? I don't know about you, but sometimes that paperwork just makes my head spin.
Overwhelming.
Yes.
Well, it's an online form, but you still have to gather all of your asset information. All of your
We just
tax
dated ourselves
information.
saying paperwork.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, I used to, when I had my 3 kids, I had to do the same thing. But yeah, you want to make sure that you have all of your documents in order so that you, and be very clear on the instructions for each question. People make a lot of mistakes, which cost them a lot of money, and they don't necessarily, the colleges don't necessarily know that you made a mistake. For example, if you have a 529 college savings plan and you put it as your child's asset instead of yours, it's going to be counted about 5 times the value as if it were the parents, which could basically kill any chance of getting any need-based financial aid.
Wow. So then what advice do you have for parents who are maybe concerned about privacy from the FAFSA forms or anything like that?
Well, you know, it is the government and it is the colleges. I mean, the students fill out common applications. They are giving them their social security number. The information is protected. It's super difficult to have that information stolen. A few years ago, somebody attempted to get Donald Trump's tax returns through the FAFSA. And when that happened, they put down the clamp on that. So it's pretty protected, I would say.
You know, we're talking about this FAFSA Assist, but what exactly is it and how did it come to be?
Well, number of years, well, longer than I care to admit. I had 3 kids going to college. And I didn't really, I was just starting out as a financial advisor at the time, and I had no idea about these forms whatsoever. And I found out after my first start, my eldest, my daughter started, I found out that I lost about $15,000 in free money. That was per year.
Wow.
So, yeah, so about 60 grand. That's a lot of money. So I learned the process. It took a couple of years and I did a lot of study, and it's painful. But my second and third child, especially my third, who went to a private school in the Northeast, and what we call one of those expensive fancy pants Northeastern schools, saved quite a bit of money. And we actually appealed for more funds one year because this was during the Great Recession, and dear old dad had a little cash flow problem like a lot of people did.
Absolutely. So, Stuart, just one more question for you, just kind of going forward. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to look at this, but Governor Murphy's budget for this year, which has not yet been approved, but there's a lot of aid for students who maybe don't have the financial ability to send themselves to college, or whose parents don't have the ability. Does that impact the FAFSA as well, or you know, have you kind of had a chance to take a look at that at all?
No, actually, I haven't had a chance to look at that. I represent students in all 50 states.
Okay.
FAFSA Assist is a national program. However, I am familiar with many of the state grant programs. So I can't speak to exactly to Governor Murphy's program, but I can tell you that what goes on the FAFSA, yeah, the government takes it, interprets it, gives you a number that you're expected, a minimum number you're expected to pay for college. It's up to the state and the colleges to determine how they're going to handle those numbers. They don't have to say what the government says. So if the governor has instituted some ways in which the families can qualify for TAG, for example, or free tuition, that's great, but you have to fill out the FAFSA to do it. And FAFSA Assist exists basically to make sure you do it right and save yourself and qualify for as much aid as possible.
I love it. Well, I'm 17 years away from this process,
yes,
but it'll be here before we know it. I have a 1-year-old. She just turned 1. So this was very enlightening. Stuart, where can people find out more about FAFSA Assist?
Well, our website's the best place to go. Fafsa Assist, that's with one A, Fafsa. You see, have it on your screen. Just go there. You can sign up for a pretty cool report that'll tell you 9 ways to maximize your aid eligibility. And we constantly let people know what's going on every step of the way through the years. So I would just go there and see what you can find out that might help yourself. It could save yourself a lot of money.
Thank you so much, Stuart. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. You the same.
Thank you. He was great. That was super informative, I think, especially, like we said, this time of year and parents especially, were looking for it. Yeah. I'm so excited for our next guest. He is a familiar face on the morning show, a good friend and author who's launching his 7th work of fiction this weekend. Please welcome Andrew Cotto to the show. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm great. That was so helpful, the whole Fafsa thing. I've done it before.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have kids around that age.
At least it's just awful.
Oh.
Where was Stuart like 2 years ago when I needed him?
2 years ago when you needed him. Hey, listen, more importantly, tell us about your new book. It's titled Pasta Mike, A Story of Friendship and Loss.
Yeah, Pasta Mike came out in January. There's the cover. Here's my cover. It's a work of fiction, but it's really based on the true life experience I had with my oldest and dearest friend, Mike O'Shea, who's from Glen Rock. With him and I grew up there together in the 70s, in a blissful time to be young, and we came of age in the 80s and became adults, I think, or one of us did in the 90s. And just as the closest of friends all along. We were born 5 days apart. We were baptized in the same water. We lived 5 houses away from each other. We were just intermeshed. And unfortunately, Mike passed away from leukemia in his early 40s. And, it really was quite devastating for me, as a person, as a friend, and as a writer. I felt compelled as the years went by to try and unpack the experience, to share it, to pay tribute to my friend. He was a magnificent human being, and I really wanted there to be a record of his benevolent soul and his empathy and his capacity for love. And I also wanted to talk about what it's like to be a middle-aged man who loses his closest friend, and just how devastating it was to me.
Yeah.
Oh, can't imagine. So your book launch is happening this weekend. So exciting. I know Kara will be attending. I wish I could, but I'm babysitterless, so.
I know, when you have a 1-year-old, you don't get to go to Saturday night parties.
Yeah, she would love to come, though. She loves parties. But
I'm sure. If she's a fallible, I'm sure she loves to go to parties. Right? So it's odd. Sort of, the book does warrant celebration. Anything you put a book out, the book launch is required, and I wanted to do something sort of different with this one. So we made to celebrate Mike's life, to celebrate the book release, but also the human being that Mike was. And I know that he loves, and I love food so much. So we thought, having a pasta night with Pasta Mike would be really fun. I sort of stole the idea from Allison Aravallo here in Brooklyn, who has the restaurant Pasta Louise, where I stole the title from as well. She says it's cool, but she blurbed the book. But she used to have pasta nights when she every Friday people come over. So I love that idea of this having a huge. I made bolognese all day yesterday. Right?
I was gonna ask you about that because I saw yesterday that you made like 8. What'd you make? 8 quarts of bolognese sauce?
8 pounds of bolognese.
8 pounds. Wow.
So we're self-catering this event, and my friend Robert Ferrari from Glen Rock guy too, lives in Oakland now. He's cooking. He's a great cook. Him and I love to cook. So he's making like baby back ribs with a pasta sauce ragu, and then a vegetarian offer with broccoli and champagne sauce, which has really good, or prosecco sauce, I should say. We're Italians. And I make the bolognese, and then we're having my buddy Danny Green. His band is playing, so we've live music. He's a real musician. A little honky tonk outfit will be playing. So there's live music. There's homemade food. There is wine and beer, and it's all in a book. And so we're gonna sort of throw a party. I mean, I don't do the bookstore thing so much because it gets a little, it's like, okay, you read and people clap, and then they have there's like a bottle of wine and a bunch of ice, right? We're throwing down. Right?
No, I was going to say, so this is like book launch Italian style for sure.
It's book launch Cotto style, that's for sure.
Cotto
right?
style, yes, absolutely. Hey, Andrew, real fast, is there still tickets available if somebody's watching and they want to come join us tomorrow night?
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. I'm a terrible salesman. Yes, there are tickets available. You can even pay at the door if you want. It's $50. You get a book, a signed book. Right? I got patches on my sleeve, on my elbow. You get a signed book. You get the dinner, the wine, the beer, the pasta,
music,
and the music. And it's $50. You can pay me on Venmo. Or you can pay me on PayPal, or you can just come up, just show up. I mean, there's going to be room. There'll be pasta still for you. If you want to contact me first, we're getting towards capacity. So if you're going to come with a crowd, let me know, and we'll work it out.
Awesome.
All the guys care that you're going to be there, so we're good.
Yes. So we are. It's automatically a good time.
It's a party, right? The Falcon in the House party.
Well, congratulations. As an author, I know it's so hard to get your book out there, so I think this is a genius way. So congratulations. I wish I can be there, but I will be there in spirit, and I know you will have a wonderful time.
Thank you so much. I mean, it was great to see you guys.
It's great to see you, Andrew, and I'm so looking forward to tomorrow night. Thank you again, guys. It's Andrew Cotto. The book is Pasta Mike. Join us tomorrow night if you can, and if not, certainly log on somewhere or go to your local bookstore and pick it up. Great story. Thank you again, Andrew.
Thank you, guys.
All right, coming up next, we are talking so much sports because so much has happened in the last few days. Anthony Paradiso is going to be here from JerseySportingNews.com.
And it's local stuff. Yes. I know, finally. And please connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll keep you updated on who is going to be on the show and so much more. Be sure to check us out and click follow. On Thursday, April 7th, join St. Joseph's Health Foundation at Fashion with Compassion, an annual benefit for St. Joseph's Children's Hospital. Enjoy premium shopping with our fabulous marketplace vendors and an electrifying fashion show showcasing our smallest fashionistas and healthcare heroes. It will be an amazing night full of food, fun, and of course, fashion. For more information and to purchase tickets, please visit givetostjosephs.org. We'll see you at the Rockley.
Did you know that heart disease is the #1 killer of women? I didn't, until it happened to me.
All women need to know that cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of women. Know your family history and talk to your doctor about heart disease.
Awareness may make the difference between life and death.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show.
Let's bring in meteorologist Mike Favetta. He's got to check out your 7-day Jersey forecast. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning to you both. We've got a beautiful day ahead. It's a nice day for a birthday. Celebrating a birthday here in my family. Grandma is 86 this year, so happy birthday, Grandma.
Auguri, nonna.
She's
Happy birthday to her. She's beautiful.
She's also a great grandmother of two. My two nieces, so always fun. And fun fact, she came here when she was 7 years old, grew up in Eastern Europe during the last war, so she has a very interesting perspective on what's happening
I bet
overseas.
she does.
Yeah. We've got some great weather for Grandma for today, especially as you head out, and you might enjoy some sunshine. Just stay away from the beaches because it's going to feel really cold. If you were thinking, oh, I'll go to the beach today, not going to be the day to do it just because that water temperature so chilly. Now, if you were wondering that it's been a little dry down in South Jersey, you'd be correct. Now, where we are broadcasting from here in northeastern New Jersey, we haven't had a whole lot of dry weather. It's been pretty damp, the ground is pretty wet, and there's actually some quite patchy areas of mud. But in South Jersey, this is where New Jersey gets its Garden State mantra from. All the big farms down in South Jersey, they're in Cumberland County, Salem County. Those areas are actually going through a moderate drought just due to the way the weather patterns were this past winter. As far as our forecast for the next few days, though, I think we see a few chances of rain, and the first one comes in tomorrow. That 7-day forecast has highs today in the 70s. It'll feel very pleasant with mostly sunny skies, and then we go forward into the rest of the weekend and have another round of cool weather returning with lots of sun to start off on Sunday. With Monday and Tuesday feeling a little chilly, check out those bottom numbers there in blue. They'll be in the 30s by Tuesday morning and even to Wednesday morning. We've got a chilly start to next week, but I think we'll ultimately highs moderate back into the 50s, which is where we should be for the first week of spring going forward. So no big storms ahead, even though there could be a quick downpour tomorrow and a rumble of thunder, but there are some places in New Jersey that could actually use the rain as the growing season gets underway in the next few weeks. Kara, Lisa Marie.
All right, Mike. Looks good overall. I'm excited for it. Thank you
Feels
very
like
much.
spring, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. So that explosion you heard last night was everyone's NCAA men's basketball tournament brackets busting, thanks to an absolute upset by St. Peter's over number 2 seeded Kentucky. Joining us now to break it all down for us is Anthony Paradiso from Jersey Sporting News. Anthony, good morning.
Good morning. Hey, what a game last night, right?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So, Tony Paradise, this has to be one of the biggest March Madness upsets in recent memory. Tell us how it all went down.
Yeah, well, coming into the game, you have St. Peter's, who's relatively unknown. They had a good season, but one of the smallest teams from New Jersey to make it when you had Rutgers and Seton Hall also making it in. And, they came out and they stayed within striking distance. I think, at the end of the game there, with 3 minutes left in regulation, they were losing by 6 points. They were able to close that down, send it to overtime. And then in overtime, they were actually down by 4 points. And they managed to, take over and win 85-79. It was really a spirited performance by them, led by Miles III, who had 27 points, and Eder hit 5 3-pointers, which was crucial down the stretch there for St. Peter's.
I mean, we were talking about this before, Kara and I, that Kentucky is such a dynamite force in the NCAA, and St. Peter's, they play in a gym that looks like a high school. So, I mean, I can't imagine what that Kentucky campus must be like today, because they did not expect this.
Oh, absolutely. And I think I read that they had won 30 straight first-round games coming into this. So, not only are they a much bigger school, but they had a much better history in the tournament. And St. Peter's snapped that. They slayed the dragon. So it was a...
Yeah, hey, so you talk about a David and Goliath story.
Absolutely. I mean, it's exactly what it is. I mean, it would have been an upset for Rutgers to beat Notre Dame, and Rutgers nearly almost did it. I
was going to say, Anthony, that's our next question. Unfortunately, my poor alma mater, my Knights, I mean, they went into double overtime. It's not like they, threw this game away, but they did lose it. What happened?
Yeah, I mean,
heartbreaking.
I think they ran into Notre Dame right before St. Patrick's Day, and it was just too much.
The only excuse, huh?
Yeah. I mean, Rutgers, maybe they just didn't quite have the scoring to really go far in the tournament. I mean, Ron Harper Jr. had a great year, but when they had that stretch earlier in the season where they beat Purdue, Ron Harper hit the game-winning shot. It was all very, very close, and that's really how that game against Notre Dame played out. It was really, really close. They deserve full marks for going toe-to-toe with a big team. So, but now it's St. Peter's, and then actually Seton Hall plays tonight around 9:30ish, something like that. So they're going to play TCU, and Seton Hall is the number 8 seed. TCU is number 9. Very close.
Yeah, that was your leading. It's like you read our script before coming on here, because that was going to be exactly my point. Just based on the rankings alone, I feel like this is a toss-up and can be anyone's game. What are your feelings?
Yeah, I think that number one, most coaches might say, hey, we're focused on ourselves and everything, but they have to have noticed what happened last night. And there must be a feeling within that locker room that, hey, we're good enough to win our first round game. We're not going to take TCU lightly just because we're ranked a little bit higher than them and we're Seton Hall. We're going to come out gangbusters and really just go after it. And I think Seton Hall is going to be highly motivated. Their coach is really good. He's been there for about a decade. He's brought the program up from, being non-relevant to now, they've made the NCAA tournament, I think 3 or 4 times since he's been there in 10 years. So, Seton Hall's got a big one tonight. It's going to be exciting for Jersey.
Yeah. Before we wrap up here, just circling back to St. Peter's. So as an avid sports fan, I've seen this story go one of two ways. they could go right to the Final Four with all of this momentum, or they'll get so wrapped up, their next game they'll falter. What are your thoughts? What do you think is going to happen now?
Well, it's difficult to say. I think that's great. I think that, listen, this was a huge win. There's going to be a little bit of a come down for the next game. And in their next game, in the round of 32, they're going to play Murray State, who was actually 30-2 this year. So they were very dominant. But hey, listen, they just slayed one dragon. Why not go after another one, right? So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Anthony, thank you so much. We'll see you back here next week, and visit jerseysportingnews.com for everything Garden State sports. Have a great weekend.
All right, you too. Thanks.
Thanks, Anthony. Man, it's so exciting. I think it's just so exciting for people in New Jersey to finally have a team to root, because all of our pro teams have been garbage lately. So to be able, even for me, Rutgers is out, but go St. Peter's, go Seton Hall. I want to see them.
You know how, that will re-energize our area, our tri-state area.
Yep. That's so exciting, so exciting. All right, so if maybe the fast-paced sports are not your thing, the Saltwater Fishing Expo runs Saturday and Sunday at the New Jersey Convention Expo Center in Edison. Show was canceled for the last 2 years because of COVID, but it is coming back. I do know some people who enjoy a good saltwater day out on the sea fishing.
I haven't been fishing in years. I love crabbing, though.
I do love crabbing. I feel like that's a Jersey Shore
Italian
mustard. Yeah, then we toss them in the gravy. Anyways,
yes.
All right. Next, we meet the middle school trio behind J Candles & Co.
And you can connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll keep you updated on who is going to be on the show and so much more. Be sure to check us out and click follow.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We are school teachers. We are leaders in business.
It's me, you, anyone that wants to be.
There is no typical firefighter.
On Thursday, April 7th, join St. Joseph's Health Foundation at Fashion with Compassion, an annual benefit for St. Joseph's Children's Hospital. Enjoy premium shopping with our fabulous marketplace vendors and an electrifying fashion show showcasing our smallest fashionistas and healthcare heroes. It will be an amazing night full of food, fun, and of course, fashion. For more information and to purchase tickets, please visit givetostjosephs.org. We'll see you at the Rockley. Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. So some exciting news. Six Flags Safari opens again this weekend with a host of new animals for viewers to see. The theme park will open April 2nd.
That's like a sure sign of spring and summer, like you go to the safari. Meteorologist Mike Fafsa is here. Mike, are you a Six Flags guy?
Great Adventure, because that's what we call it here in Jersey.
Yeah, Great Adventure. Of course.
Yep. Many times as a kid, even saw the monkeys rip off the
antennas off the cars?
The window, like stripping
the wipers
car in front of us. That was interesting to see as a child.
But you are a roller coaster girl, Kara.
I am a roller coaster. I was once upon a time. I mean, I haven't, obviously, because it's been shut down for, the last couple of years, so I haven't been in a while. I feel like as I get older, that motion sickness thing starts to set in.
Yeah, that went by me years and years ago. But I used to. I've gone on every one at Six Flags.
Yeah.
They're fun. It's even fun when you tell somebody, like your significant other, that, oh, it's like a little choo-choo train that goes around, and then, she's screaming her little heart out.
I don't recommend to do that continually, just FYI.
I have the best roller coaster story that I'll tell you. It has nothing to do with Six Flags, but the best roller coaster story that deals with my grandparents.
Oh gosh.
Really?
Yeah, that got tricked at Disney, Mike, where you were last week. They went on Space Mountain. No, what's the one in Epcot? Or no, they went on Space Mountain because they went to Epcot the day before and thought Space Mountain was like an educational space ride thing. And they saw all the signs, like make sure you don't ride this if you're pregnant, this, that. And my grandparents
they thought it was
were
Spaceship Earth? maybe?
Yeah, they thought it was like going to be a slow pace. Yeah, it's a small world after all. No.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
You know, speaking of roller coasters, we've been on one with this weather lately, but it looks like we're kind of like coasting to the end here now.
Yes, we're finally done with the roller coaster of winter because it really was wild. We got this snow that happened one day, and then it was 70 degrees the next, and then I get all the complaints in the inbox when it was snowing the next day. So we're finally seeing a little bit of a calmer pattern going forward, and that is what shows up on the 7-day forecast. We have plenty of clear sky that takes over for today. Tomorrow, however, back to the rain. It'll be a day similar to yesterday, slightly milder though, with a milder southwest wind that actually might fuel a few late afternoon and early evening thunderstorms, but of the non-severe variety. So you may hear a little springtime rumble of thunder. Spring begins on Sunday, and with it a really sunny start. Clouds likely finish the afternoon as it turns cooler, and overnight lows dip down back into the 30s across most of the state to start off next week, with highs rebounding into the upper 40s and low 50s. So it'll be a cool start for the first few days of spring, even as we head into next week. I think our next chance for rain is Wednesday into Thursday, with temperatures holding right around 50 degrees. So a calm and spring-like pattern just as we gently transition into the last few weeks of March, as we head into April, maybe looking for some more rain, not snow, ahead. So that's a good sign here across New Jersey, guys.
We'll take that rain, you know, spring showers, April flowers, all that.
Yeah.
Meteorologist Mike Preventative, thank you very much. You have yourself a great weekend.
You too.
Jada, Ellie, and Taylor are the trio behind J Candles & Co. These 3 middle school students from Verona started the company during the pandemic because they wanted to spread love and light during the dark times. Jada, Ellie, Taylor, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having us. We're so excited to be here.
Good morning, girls.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Can you tell us about how and why you started J Candles & Co.?
Yeah, so we started J Candles & Co. in quarantine. We were bored and we were looking for small business ideas on TikTok. And that's where we came across candles, and we thought it'd be a great way to spread love and light in the dark times of the pandemic.
Yeah, we also had a love for candles prior to the business, which also inspired this idea.
We always wanted to know how candles were made, so we decided to try it.
Very cool. So then how do you guys come up with the scents? We have a couple of them here on set. So this one's Clean Laundry, which I happen to really like.
And I like Citrus Agave, which is so delightful.
Where did you guys come up with some of these scents?
So basically what we do is we sit around the table, we have sample scents, and there's a lot of back and forth and debate, which a lot of arguing kind of. And what we do is we pick 4 or 5 scents depending on the season, and then we use those scents in the upcoming drop. And
what is? Oh, yeah.
Want to say how we?
We choose our labels by looking at the key notes of the scent, and depending on what it is, we base it off of the smell mostly.
Yeah, and the ingredients that we find within the scent.
Nice.
That is so cool. What are the challenges you faced with having a small business?
Some of the challenges we face are just scheduling.
Yeah, budgeting, production, costing.
Some of the challenges we face are having a busy work area and perfecting the formula for a good burn. Also scheduling, because we all have different schedules, so balancing out between school and then sports is tough to find the time when we can all work.
There's also deadlines and trying to get our candles shipped out on time for the customers.
Yeah, absolutely. All things. So what are some of the lessons you girls have learned this past year, both in running your own business and through the pandemic? What's some tips you would give for somebody else who wants to start their own business?
You want to take that one, Ellie?
Yeah, so some things we've learned about is production, budgeting, costing, customer service, and scheduling, and just overall
Jada's
business.
Yeah. Jada's very good at customer service.
If someone emails us or DMs us on Instagram, and we always want to answer the question and get back to them as soon as we can.
Mm-hmm. Another example is production. We want to we see how long it takes for a candle to cure and what it takes to make a candle, and they have some examples of production.
Yeah, figuring out all the ingredients to make it, making the candle, shipping it out,
And our
getting it
supplies.
on time. Yeah.
As a serial entrepreneur, I love the spirit of you three. And I think it's even better that not only are you getting into a small business, but that it's going towards so many good campaigns. I know giving back is very important to you all. Tell us why.
Well, it's really important to us because we get to put a smile on people's faces. We also get to give back to the less fortunate. And a profit of our sales also goes to the charities. And they're going to talk a little bit about some of the
Well, we started with Zoe, and we invited her over. She's a girl from our school that has progeria, which is
it's a rapid aging disease.
Well, we invited her over, and she made some candles with us, and she just like loved it, so it just made us smile. And also the Kind campaign, which is an anti-bullying campaign that spreads kindness and awareness to bullying.
Yeah, we love seeing Zoe like have a blast, put a smile on her face.
Yeah, and then another charity that we work with is Greens Do Good, which is a campaign that helps employ people with autism.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like our candle for them, and 100% of the profits go towards them. It's called Citrus Basil. And this is our candle for the Kind campaign. Like the label has Kind campaign on it too.
Yeah, we have different, as you can see, the different labels, which tells you us apart from like our regular candles and then like the charity ones.
And scents, different scents.
Yeah, we also have different scents.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. So what's next for J Candles? What do you guys see yourselves doing in 2022?
So we want to follow our dreams. We want to expand our product line and get into more stores.
Yeah, and we also would just like to maybe work with more charities and keep doing like partnerships and collabs.
Yeah, we also want to get out of like an at-home business, or we hope to, like maybe even a studio as we grow.
And like expand.
I mean, your story is so heartwarming. I can only hope my daughter grows up into you girls, because I love everything that you're doing. Where can viewers find out more about you and to purchase a candle?
So they can find more on, Ellie, you can take that.
On our website, www.jcandles.com. And we also have an Etsy and an Instagram, jcandles & Co.
And we also have a TikTok where we post like videos about what we're doing. A lot of them are funny.
Yeah. You guys have to come show me how to use TikTok, because I'm old and I don't understand it. Girls, you guys are doing a fantastic job. Thank you so much for taking some time and joining us today. We certainly wish you the best of luck in everything that you're doing, and we hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, Lee, so you're decked out in green, and I'm guessing for St. Patrick's Day yesterday, but you know that I had to do St. Joseph's instead, although we did wrap it up in green. So, and these are the St. Joseph's Zeppeli.
Unbelievable that you made this from scratch.
Yeah, well, Marie helps.
You are the granddaughter my grandmother wishes she had.
Get rid of this stuff. Yeah. But yeah, so these are, so for anybody who doesn't know, tomorrow is St. Joseph's Day, which in Italy is actually Father's Day, and it's a big deal for a lot of, in the same way that everybody's middle name is Marie, if you're an Italian-American woman, most of the guys are named Joseph. Your name day is a huge day in the culture. So my family, both my father and my brother are Joseph, so we make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, my husband is Joseph, my father-in-law is Joseph. I have a long
so we'll have to pack some up for you to take home.
A lot of Joes in my orbit.
But yeah, so this is one of the traditional foods for it. They're called zeppoli, but they're not like the zeppoli that you get down at the boardwalk. They're not fried. These are actually baked, and then they do have the ricotta filling and the cherries on top. So by all means, dig in. Recipe is on my website if you'd wanted to tackle it.
I'll just eat and enjoy. I'll be your food taste tester.
That's fine. That's fine. So yeah, do you guys do anything for
on Sunday? We're gonna have a big family meal with the Falbo side, because that's where the Joes are.
That's where the Joes are.
Yeah. In my family, Peter is the name.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's your dad, your brother, everybody, right?
Yeah. My brother's about to have a baby. He will be Peter the Third. Yes. So no Joes, but on that side. But I have a lot.
That's fine. Everybody can partake.
Exactly.
We all enjoy it. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us this week on the New Jersey Morning Show. As always, we appreciate you watching. Be sure to tune in next week. We're live every Friday morning on Facebook and YouTube, and streaming on NJ On Air as well.
Yes, and follow us on social media so we can keep you updated on all the exciting things happening with the morning show. We will see you back here next week.